need to rearrange our houses, right? Our furniture, because we've been sitting at home for months now and you're like, you know, I really want that bed moved and that couch will look so much better over there, but gosh knows it weighs a ton and I'm by myself, or maybe there's two of us and it's just, I don't want to scrape my floors up moving the furniture around. Well, whether it's carpeting or tile or wood floors or whatever you got, you can now very easily move your furniture. Now, this is a giant couch. I want you guys to see, Dustin, I'm gonna stand back here. This is a really big couch. Like, it's big and it's cushy, and I'm sure it's very heavy, but watch this. I am literally going to toss it across the studio. It is a big three-person couch. They even left all the decorative pillows on for me to add some more weight. Look how easy this is. And it is courtesy of our Mega Movers. Now, we have this back in stock. It's been very popular every time we offer it on the air. I actually have a couple different colors. We have brown, we have gray, and we have blue. And what's really neat is not only does it help you move all your stuff around, this little guy's a little mini miracle because it helps prop your items up easily so you can slip the movers underneath it. Especially if you're moving something extremely heavy, you'll really love this extra feature. All right, Miss Tracy Rosa is ready and she's gonna tell us a bit more about it. And Tracy, welcome back. Always good to see you.
Good to see you, Suzanne. I'm so glad that you tried to move that couch, because when you go back to it in a couple minutes, you will realize there's no good way to lift that couch. There's no good place to grab it. The only place to grab it is literally underneath to lift the whole thing up, which defeats the purpose of Mega Movers. So listen, furniture movers have been around for a long time, right? All right, we've all seen them. They're either those little pieces of fabric that we put underneath the feet of the furniture or whatever. But here's the problem. You still have to physically lift up the furniture to put those other movers underneath, right? Well, come introduce you to Mega Movers. So look at this. This is gonna act like a car jack and it's gonna lift 660 pounds worth of weight. So instead of your back, instead of your shoulders, instead of your arms doing the heavy lifting, this is gonna do it. So all you do is you take this little lever, you basically place it underneath the feet, and look at, with a couple fingers, Suzanne, I can lift up this entire quarter of the furniture so I can place my Mega Movers in place. So once I place all of them underneath the feet of the furniture, watch this. One person, boom. Look at that.
That's great.
So I can go from tile to carpet, I can go from hardwood to tile, I can go from linoleum to carpet, whatever I want. This is going to be that solution, because the difference is this one right here allows you to do the heavy lifting. You're not doing the heavy lifting, this is. So this will lift 660 pounds, and then each one of these little feet, Suzanne, which have that wonderful rotating top, will lift 240 pounds worth of weight.
That's crazy. Now, Trace, it also comes with these extra little pieces. What do these guys do for us?
All right, so I'm gonna show that B-roll in just a second. So here's the deal. While my feet are very close to the ground right here, and it allows me to lift it up with this lever, sometimes your furniture is a little higher up off the ground. You know, let's say we have an armoire. Let's say we have, just like this, or we have a higher chair. So now you set that perfect height, and then you put the lever on top. So you adjust it how you need it to be. We've customized everything. So these big, huge armoires, these big, huge coffee tables, the washer and dryer, the refrigerator, the oven, all of that stuff, you can now customize it, adjust it to that perfect height, and then you can rearrange everything. You can clean behind it, you can move everything around. Heck, you can get a brand new living room just by rearranging your furniture. You don't have to go out and spend $1,000 on new furniture, just rearrange it. Or let's say that you're going to paint a wall and you have to move the furniture out of the way. You want to hang some curtains, move the furniture out of the way. This allows you to do it whenever you have the time. You do it on your own. You don't have to ask anybody for help. And it really is a game changer when it comes to moving, storing, cleaning, whatever you want to do this time of year.
Okay, so I went over here and I'm thinking, well, this I could probably move on my own, right? I thought, well, it can't be too heavy. I realized,
oh, it's heavy.
Oh, honey, this is solid wood. Like, I went just to push it a little bit. I'm like, oh, now I got to give it a good push. But I went, this is really solid. But think about this. How many of you have gotten the brilliant idea of rearranging your furniture, and what happened? You have beautiful wood floors and you just put a big, giant, long gash. And you're like, oh, no. Or maybe you're really really did need to clean behind it. Let's talk about your bed. When was the last time you actually moved your bed and really cleaned underneath it? Especially if you do not have carpet, because the stuff and the dust that builds up, it can really make you have trouble when you're sleeping, right? Because it gets all in your nose and everything else. Now, just use this, move your bed, clean underneath it, move it right back, and move on to the next item. This is something that also, Trace, we should talk about is you don't have to keep buying this over and over again. Once you own it one time, you've got it. And you never know when you've got to move something. For example, let's say your washing machine's really plunked out. Have you ever tried to drag a washing machine out of a built-in space? You're kind of shoveling it and you're kind of rocking it, trying to get it out. When you have these underneath it, you pull it out, you get back there, it gets fixed or whatever you have to do, push it back in, and you're good to go. In fact, many of you probably would leave that permanently underneath there. So if you do have to pull out to clean, you can just roll it right out and roll it back in. That'd actually be a smart thing for washer and dryer manufacturers to do, is to put wheels on the bottom of their stuff. But anyway, I digress. 100%. I digress.
No,
go ahead.
Suzanne, ask yourself, when's the last time you cleaned behind the washer and dryer, cleaned behind the stove, cleaned behind the refrigerator? I bet it's the one time that you replaced all of that stuff.
Totally.
So, so the movers come in, well, let's say that they're delivering a new refrigerator and they pull it out. You're like, hold up for like 30 seconds. Let me get a vacuum. Let me like,
I'm going to mop. I'm going to mop back there really fast.
Right? But imagine being able to have 4 simple little feet that allow you to do that anytime that you want. Right. You know, that's what I love about this, because I'm all about like honesty and full disclosure. If I wanted to move something, so okay. My husband's, he's over on the other coast with the girls are playing lacrosse. He's out watching right now, so I can do my full disclosure. So my sweet little puppy, which we all know, he used the bathroom on this, okay? It's not pretty. So I had to go out and sneak a whole new rug. So I went to the home store, I got a whole new area rug. It's huge, right? But I didn't want to tell the husband about it, right? So I come home, stealth in the middle of the day. I literally moved these mega movers to move this whole sectional out, this whole thing out, so that I could lay an area rug down. Now, I know that most of us aren't sneaking rugs in behind our husbands, but how many of us have tried to lay an area rug? How many of us have tried to rearrange our furniture? How many of us have tried to do that on our own? This allows you to do it on your own when you want to do it because of this, the lever. Look at this. 2 fingers, Suzanne, lifts this entire sectional up so that I can put the feet underneath, and then here we go. This is it. Look at that.
That's great. Well, you know, you have to appreciate that woman was pushing the armoire. Do you know how darn heavy armoires are? They're really heavy. And it looked like she's like, she's nothing. Now watch, look, even sitting on here, I can move this couch around. I mean, how crazy is that, right? And I think what it also does when it comes down to it, it gives you independence. I think sometimes, you know, we sit there and go, gosh, I hate the way this room looks. I just want to move all the furniture, but you're by yourself. And you're like, there's no way I can move the armoire and move that big old couch and all that. Now you have